Do you remember the first time that you ever felt inspired to follow your dreams? Maybe it was from a conversation you had. Maybe it was an idea that popped in your head. Maybe it's a book you read, or a TV show you watched, or even a movie that you saw. Well, I remember my first time. I was 7 years old, and I watched this movie where Michael Jordan teamed up with Bugs Bunny to kick the monster's ass in the classic hit movie Space Jam. I just remember that feeling of just feeling so inspired. I want you to connect and remember, when was that moment that you too felt a hit of inspiration? You know, I remember going to my mom and saying, "Mom, I want to play basketball on a pro level." And so she said, "Well, if you want to learn how to do that, you're going to have to learn from Mike." I said, "Well, I don't know Michael Jordan." She said, "Well, here's what we do. I'm going to buy you a book. It's called Rare Air." And this was a biography of Michael Jordan. I remember when I was 7 years old, I was studying this book inside out. I got really good at basketball. And then I ended up winning the grand finals in my team. As I got older, I started moving into the business world and reading a ton of self-development books. And if you follow me, I know that you also are inspired to self-develop too. You know, I remember watching people like Tony Robbins on those 1990s infomercial, TV commercials. And I remember reading Jack Canfield's books and Stephen Covey's books, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I also remember listening to Les Brown's tapes, this soulful, motivational, inspiring speaker, listening to his stories of breakthrough. And I remember feeling within myself, man, I really would love to live that life. To live a life of being somebody of influence in a positive way. And so I casted a 10-year vision. And in that vision, I mapped out that I was going to be a powerful, influential coach. And within 6 years, I had achieved 95% of my 10-year vision. And the reason why I share this with you is because I want you to really think about this. If you have considered within yourself that you too have this inspiration, this burning desire within your heart to also become a powerful leader, an influential coach, then there's some things that you must know first in order to really step into that space and have true, authentic influence. I don't mean like posing and fake it till you make it type of influence. I mean true leadership in the heart, being someone that is influential because you have found your center, because you know the tools, because you know the frameworks for coaching to facilitate transformation. You know, a lot of people reach out to me and they say, "Joel, I'd love to be a powerful coach. I'd love to know how to be an epic speaker. And I want to know how to hold space and support people in breaking through their barriers." The truth is that we've got to do this in stages. You can't just do it all at once, right? And you can't just do it just because you've watched an inspirational video. And I know that you would know that if you're aspiring to be a coach and you've been sitting on the fence, the self-talk that goes on. I hear this from so many people that reach out to me that want to be a coach. They say that they feel like maybe they're not developed from within. Maybe their inner leadership isn't there yet before they can coach others. But they have this burning desire and they're staying in the hamster wheel of life. They're staying in a 9-to-5 job that they hate. They're living paycheck to paycheck. Influential coaches that are really authentically creating and inspiring and moving transformation through the hearts and minds of others are able to live a life of freedom. This is what I experienced. I remember leaving my 9-to-5 job. I crunched the numbers down. When I casted my 10-year vision that day 12 years ago, I worked out that I was spending 2 hours a day in peak hour traffic driving to work. That's 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month, 476 hours a year I was wasting my life. There is a sequence. I believe that success is a sequence. If we can work out the steps, if we can get the tools in order, and if we can get our mindset in place so that we know how to hold space, what questions to ask, what are the principles that are foundational in order to really facilitate change, and What are the tools and techniques? And also, what are you requiring within yourself to feel like you're ready, to feel confident to be a coach? I teach this. And I teach this because this is what I wish that I had many years ago. You know, I spent the first 5 years trying to work it out by myself, and I know that the number one reason why people quit is because of misguidance. They don't have the right support. They aren't held accountable to the right tools and to the right principles and ways of coaching. And so they have this limiting story that there's so many coaches out there, which, to be honest, isn't really true. And so if this is something that rings deep in your soul, and you know that it's this itching, burning desire that won't leave your mind, because you know that every day when you wake up and you see other coaches and you see other speakers, maybe on social media, or you watch their content and you just feel like, man, I really want this, but there's something blocking you. Here is the answer. I just launched Influential Coach. This is my 4-month live mastermind program where we have 2 live calls a week. You get to dive in and you get to learn not just the mindset and how to build the certainty from within, because that's the first stage. First stage is certainty. Okay, once you're convicted, once you're certain, once you're confident in knowing you've worked through everything that needs to be worked through, once you've let go of that boulder that's holding you back here, once you've cleared the canvas, you have clarity and focus, and you know how to hold yourself accountable and how to hold others accountable, then you get to move to the second stage in coaching, inner coaching transformation, and that is influence. In order to be influential, you must be certain and convicted. And when you can clearly articulate your vision to the world, the right clients start showing up, the right people start showing up for you to collaborate with, the right opportunities come into play to expand you. Because I myself have become influential, I've featured in 4 documentary films. On the front cover of magazines, I've been blessed to be on there. I've even featured on some of the world's top podcasts, and I speak on stages in front of thousands upon thousands of people. In a very small amount of time, in the past 10 years, I've really been able to travel and meet so many incredible people with so many amazing stories and with different cultures and different ways of living, and I've learned so much. You know, I've been able to rub shoulders with people like Tony Robbins on a movie set that we're in together, and to be able to speak on stages with people like Grant Cardone and run a podcast with Deepak Chopra and Gabby Bernstein and Lisa Nichols and hang out with Gary Vaynerchuk in New York. You know, these things were possible for me in a very short amount of time because I had learned the strategies to become influential. You don't need to take as long as I did. You can learn it even faster. You can stand on the shoulders of me and many other giants that mentored me and guided me along the way too. And as a coach myself, I've personally experienced meeting other proclaimed coaches that have got a certification just because they've paid to be in a course. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you're an effective coach that can facilitate transformation. And that's why I've designed Influential Coach in a way where you have all your bases covered when you graduate and are certified as an influential coach. This here gives you confidence, knowing that when you step into the industry that you know not only how to create transformation, but also how to build a business. It's kind of like that person that goes to university or college for 5, 6, 7 years, and then when they finish up, they've got all this debt, and then they don't know how to build their practice or their business. And so I don't want coaches, if you're aspiring right now, I don't want you having that experience, because this is what so many coaches experience. That's why I've created this in a way where you get the best of both worlds. So this way, you can focus on what truly matters, and that is becoming powerful in transforming and influencing others. There's an opportunity in this space right now for anyone that really has a desire, that's ready to commit, that's open to being coachable, and to be held accountable to the sequence that I've created for Influential Coach. So if this rings really deep in your soul and you're ready to dive in, this idea of even just stepping in and transforming the lives of others and sharing the experiences that you've created within yourself, that now you get to share with others too to better their lives. If this really, really resonates with you and aligns with you, then make sure you message me for more details, and/or click the link in my bio, or click the link underneath this video here to apply for Influential Coach. I'm only selecting 20 people to dive deep with me on this. This here means that you will be certified as a coach that'll be backed by Addicted to Success, which has over 12 years of credibility and authority. And through this certification, you go through an examination process to make sure that you have the efficiency to be a coach. If there's anything that you don't cover, we go back and we make sure that you tick through the checklist so that you have all your bases covered. So not only that it helps, my reputation as a coach, but it also helps you to feel that confidence, to know that you've got all your bases checked before you step out there in the world and really become a powerful, influential coach. I want you to imagine what your life would look like and how it would feel to transform the lives of others, because you too are influential. I'm inviting you today, right here, right now. Don't sit on your hands any longer. Don't delay. Jump in if you are committed and get ready to run to your highest of high dreams to really empower the world in such a beautiful way.